Welcome back to the Green Means Go channel. It's your host, me. Today we are going to be breaking down one of the more dominant divisions in the NFL, and that is the AFC West. As always, if you like the content, a like and subscribe go a huge, long way. Right now, we're sitting at 200 and some subscribers, which human psychology says if you see a guy with that many subscribers, you're not going to click on his videos because they're probably horrible, and maybe they are. But where else are you going to find a guy wearing an Einstein shirt with him crossing somebody over, right, on a football video? Are you kidding me? Who else is putting out that kind of content? No one. So if you don't mind liking and subscribing, that's going to help my channel grow. I appreciate that very much. Let's hop into the video. The AFC West features four teams that I think all could have a winning record this year. The Chiefs have been dominant, the Chargers are up and coming, and the Broncos made a huge push to get Russell Wilson last season. So before we jump in, yes, and I realize I just ignored the Raiders. They're the Raiders. Okay, so let's look at the depth charts here, see if we've got any massive changes from last season to this season. Chiefs still have Patrick Mahomes, Isaiah Pacheco, Jerick McKinnon, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Their receiver core is their biggest question mark, and quite possibly the thing that is pulling me away from a lot of Kansas City-related future bets. And I realize that when you have Mahomes and you have Kelsey, you can do a lot with guys like MVS, Kadarius Toney, and Sky Moore. So, I'm not super sold on this core group of receivers, but we will see what happens as the season goes on, and I wouldn't put it past Mahomes to be able to work with these guys. Down here with the Chargers, I actually think the Chargers are going to be the best team in this division, and I think they have the highest ceiling of any of these four teams, returning Justin Herbert, Austin Eckler, Keenan Allen, and Mike Williams. They draft Quentin Johnston in the draft this year, a big wide receiver, and they return Gerald Everett. So a lot of guys coming back, a lot of talent on this team, and I do believe that they will be the best team in this division. Mark my words right here. Clip it. Do whatever people do. Moving over to the other two teams in this division, the Raiders get Jimmy Garoppolo in the offseason. They return the number one running back from last year in Josh Jacobs. Adams comes over last year and underperforms for him, but hopefully he can rebound this season. Jacoby Myers comes over from New England, and they stick with Hunter Renfrow. They lose Darren Waller this offseason, which I think is a pretty sizable blow, but they are able to get Austin Hooper, who we know has had some good years, but those years are probably behind him. Moving to the Broncos, Russell Wilson, I do believe will have a rebound year this year. I think Russell is a winner at heart. He's a competitive guy, and I watched him for 10 years in Seattle, and I know that when he is doubted, it's when he performs the best. So I think right now he is being doubted, and I think he will come through, especially with the likes of Jerry Jeudy, Courtland Sutton, Tim Patrick, quick guys like KJ Hamler, Marvin Mims. So it's definitely a team I'm going to be watching, and we'll talk about some bets I like related to the Broncos in the latter half of this video. As far as win totals go, I actually like, and maybe this is a little bit extreme, I like the Chargers to win 15 games this season. Yes, I think they will have one of the best records in the NFL, and I think they'll have the best offense in the NFL. So that is my bold prediction of 2023. Come back and clown me if that's not true, but it is what I'm going to predict. I think the Chiefs see a large regression this season, and they end up at 11-6, which I know is still respectable, but I don't see them dominating as they have in the past. Broncos at 11-6, tied with the Chiefs, and a lot of people are going to disagree with that, but I do think the Broncos handle business this year, and I do think the Raiders struggle with Garoppolo and some of these other pieces, and they're in one of the tougher divisions in the NFL, so I see them going 6-11. So if we look at some of these bets and how they relate to my picks, I think the Chargers over 9.5 at -128 is a fantastic price, a fantastic line, and it would be a bet that I would take if I had it available, and I do, so that is beautiful. Chiefs regular season wins at 11.5 right now. I have them at 11, but I'm getting the hook at plus money, plus 110 for under, and it's definitely another bet that I'm going to be looking for in this division. I do, again, like I said, think they will regress this year. Broncos at 8.5 at plus money. I like this bet a lot, and I realize that some of these are correlated. So if the Chiefs are winning under 11.5 games, there's a correlation that the Broncos may win over just because they play each other twice. I know it's not guaranteed, but that correlation does exist. So, I like both of these bets a lot. I like all three of these bets a lot, and they are bets that I will be taking. Now, the Raiders line is at 6.5. I predict them at 6. You're paying a lot of juice for the under here, so I'm avoiding that. I'm not going to take that. I think it's too close to call. But funny enough, I do think they lose every game in their division this year. Some season-long specials that I like, and you can find these over on FanDuel, are the Los Angeles Chargers to have a passing touchdown in every regular season game. I went back and I combed through the last 3 years of the Justin Herbert era. In 2020, he did this 14 out of 15 starts. In 2021, he did it 17 out of 17 starts. And last year, he did it 14 out of 17 starts. And I think a lot of this was because Eckler really dominated that offense last year. They had a ton of injuries at the wide receiver position. Mike Williams missed time. Keenan Allen missed time. And it got to the end of the season, and I don't think they played some games where I don't think they had either of them. So I think adding a rookie wide receiver who is projected to be top 3 on the depth chart, if the other two can stay healthy, I think this line at plus 370 is tremendous value, and it's definitely one I'm looking at to lock in before the season kicks off. The Kansas City Chiefs also have a pretty delicious looking line here for the same bet. 1 touchdown passing every game the regular season. Patrick Mahomes did it every game last year, 14 out of 15 in 2021, and 15 out of 15 he was injured for 2 games in 2020. So again, he's done this in, we'll call it 2 out of 3 seasons. And the one thing that scares me off of this a little bit is just that receiving core, but I do think they find a way. He always finds a way, right, to get this done. So again, at 3-1, I think it's a good bet. Now listen. Take a deep breath. Put the comments in if you want to hate. Let me speak my truth here. We're all allowed to make predictions, and here is mine. Broncos to score a touchdown in every regular season game this season is at plus money. Last year, we know how bad the Broncos looked. Russell Wilson came in and underperformed as anyone has underperformed in recent memory. The hype was huge, and he couldn't live up. Now, they scored a touchdown in 15 of the 17 games with no run game, with Russell Wilson looking awful, and they only missed 2 games. So this season, I think a whole year to gel, a whole offseason together. The hype has calmed down. The pressure has lessened a little bit. Plus money for this bet is fantastic. It is definitely one I'm looking at. Now, as we've seen from these other 2 bets, with the Chiefs and with the Chargers, a passing touchdown in every game. Call me crazy, but this line at 12-1? 12-1 for Russell Wilson, who did this, who had a passing touchdown in 15 out of 17 games last year and had an awful year. He only missed 2. So to get this line, I mean, look at these other 2, right? These are at 3-1 and almost 4-1, and you're getting triple the odds for a guy like Russell Wilson, who has proven that he can be a winner. He has the weapons, okay? He is going to be in situations in a lot of these games where he's going to have to pass. They're going to have to win. The Broncos have a legitimate shot to make the playoffs this year. This is a fantastic bet. This is a fantastic line, 12-1 for a passing touchdown in every game, and it is one that I am going to put my Green Means Go stamp of approval on. By Green Means Go, super stamp, green, smash that button, baby. We're locking it in. That does it for the AFC West. I know those are some bold predictions. I know they may ruffle some feathers, but it is what I like, and it is what I feel is acceptable as we look towards this 2023 season. And that wraps it up for the AFC. Next time, we will jump over to the NFC, and we will start with the NFC East. So as always, thank you guys for stopping by. Like, subscribe, comment, and give your mother a kiss on the lips. We'll see you next time.